I love shopping for cheap games on Steam. Winter and summer sales have so many games for cheap. You walk in with 50 bucks and you walk out with 5 to 10 games. Kinda like being rich and going to a flea market. I did the same thing I do every year and bought a whole bunch of games that were on sale, including this one because it was calling out to me like a homeless bastard looking for a meal. So for whatever reason, this is the first game that I played out of everything that I bought this month. I mean, if I had to give you a reason, it's how simple the sprites and the backgrounds look. I don't know. I have a soft spot for games with basic graphics. For this one game, thank fuck I can use a controller, because the great background clashing with all the other bright colors actually hurts my eyes a bit. Okay, so moving on to the actual game. So yeah. Hardcore avian sprite basketball action right here. So one of the games I got for dirt cheap along with this one was the Binding of Isaac remake. That was priced at about 9 Aussie dollars, Birdsketball was about 5. I don't know if it's true or not and I didn't bother to look it up, but some friend of a cousin of an inbred grandfather of a war veteran who had a YouTube channel before the internet existed. Someone I know told me that this line I just recorded plus the games I already mentioned above are made by one person on a low budget and are usually a joke because the owner lost a bet, so that's fine. I get what I paid for. Except that even the original Binding of Isaac is a god in comparison. I don't say this because of the graphics or the Legend of Zelda reference. I say this because out of the two, Binding of Isaac is the only game that I want to play for longer than half an hour. Half an hour is what it took to beat Birdsketball single player and try out all of the extra stuff. Single player stages laid out like Mortal Kombat, Punch-Out and Mortal Kombat. You've got Daffy, Angry Birds, Pluck a Duck or KFC Duck, Flappy Bird, Jon Snow, John Crow, Fuck You, Roadrunner, DuckTales minus Scrooge, King Diddy. Together they form an uninspired cry for a lawsuit, also possibly Voltron. When you play the first time, it feels floaty and hard to steer. Kinda feels like Jetpack Joyride, Flappy Bird, and Asteroid all in one. The momentum drops as soon as your accelerate button does, so you can either use that to escape or charge a boost with another button so you can be the ball in Birdsketball while you bird the ball in Birdsketball. You basket the ball 5 times, beat the bird, and fly to the next one. I also masturbate while I play this game. Oh yeah, kinda like Punch-Out. Most levels you will one-shot or die once or twice and win after getting better with flapping your bird and jacking off into the distance. Then you get to Roadrunner stage and you hit a wall. Fucking your mum. Violent. Lick my dick. Round about here, I start cracking it because I'm still bad at the game and it goes from kind of easy to kind of wrecking my shit. Same thing with Scrooge McNugget's nephews. They're a pain in the ass. I didn't count, but it felt like I lost about 5 to 6 times on both. Then I finally get to DDD. Just one go. And he dies. Yeah, that's a bit much, eh? Yeah, I know, right? I just fucking said that. So by now, you probably think the game plays like it was made in Flash and it looks like it was developed for Atari if Atari existed in the past decade. You also remember you bought it for $5 before you crack the shits and start breaking stuff. Moral of the story, the game has cheap graphics, rips off 100 characters, it's literally shorter than the time it takes to defecate, the sound effects are repetitive, and the one thing that would make it worth the $5 doesn't even exist. What the fuck am I talking about? Play this game in multiplayer with your friends. You like it? You having fun? Good. Now try playing it online and tell me how smooth it is. It isn't. There's no multiplayer online. If there was anything I fucking hate about games with potentially good multiplayer gameplay is when you can only play them when your friends come over. We're a community of worldwide online gamers. We don't travel across the world to play fucking Birdsketball. I don't invite my friends over once a week to play shit on my Steam library. And if that's you, then fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that it's bad when it's the only option available to me. I used to have that mentality with consoles. Now friendships and acquaintances across the globe are booming. Mainly thanks to video games. Online multiplayer isn't just a perk anymore, it's basics. So please don't put out a multiplayer game you can't play without inviting over some friends. So yeah, if you like flinging your bird and your balls around with 3 other friends and you're all local, go buy this game. If you like flapping your bird solo, save your cash for another game or stick to porn. Thanks for stopping by. If you're happy with that video, you might also like Nossi's content on his game review channel, The Nerd Syndicate. If you want to see more of these videos, then subscribe, please.